Hello and welcome to Mac Hummin Stadium in Oakwood, Ohio for tonight's MVCC City Barbecue Game of the Week for week number 4. It's an intense Southwest Buckeye League rivalry as the 1-2 Oakwood Lumberjacks host the 1-2 Valley View Spartans. Jeff, what can you tell us about Spartans head coach Bob Skidmore?
Well, Skidmore is in his third season as Valley View head coach and is very successful to date, 20-3 in 3 seasons, and so very effective so far. And before this, only experienced 25 seasons as Valley View assistant head coach, and so runs in the blood.
Right, he's been here, I think, since the team started.
And Jared, what about the other sideline?
Across the sideline, Oakwood has Butch Snyder. Butch Snyder is in his 4th season overall, or starting his 4th season, 13-20 overall. And his previous coaching experience for him is assistant head coach at Beaver Creek from 2012 to 2014. Jeff, what has to happen for the Spartans to come away with a game or a win tonight?
Well, for Valley View, Jared, the offensive line has to have better blocking for the running game. So far this year, they have not been getting anything going when it comes to the running game. Only success coming from the quarterback, Cade Cradlebaugh, who actually has 270 yards, 4 touchdowns, his 4th in the league, and that is not good.
Not for your quarterback being the leading rusher.
And it's also going to be a key for them to get him the ball and keep him going. He has been ridiculous. 3rd in passing yards, 4th in rushing yards, and very multi-dimensional player, Jared. And on defense, watch out for Tommy Lunne, who is just above him in the passing board for the Southwest Buckeye League with 6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, so lacking a little efficiency, and they have to force turnovers. What about Oakwood?
Oakwood, I think they just got to keep doing what they're doing. I mean, Lunne is doing great so far this year. 44 completion percentage, almost 450 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, but the only thing that stands out is that 6 interceptions he's had so far in just 3 games. The offensive line needs to be better blocking, so Lunne isn't taking those big hits when he tries and scramble to make the plays happen. In defense, I mean, limit the penalties. Oakwood's like the 3rd most penalized team in the SWBL, and that keeps drives going for the offense if they're on defense, and it kills your offensive drive if you're on that ball. And finally, forced turnovers. Lumberjacks come to this game with only 5 turnovers forced. That's not that good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it'll be an interesting game, no doubt. I mean, both teams 1-2 coming in, so winner will get to 500. Who do you think is going to win tonight and why?
Well, I definitely think it's going to be Valley View, Jared, just for the sake of durability, knowing how to get it done. Cradle ball can get it done in a lot of different ways, and so I think versatility is just going to be the name of the game tonight. And it's usually always a tough, intriguing battle with these 2 teams, so very excited for this interconference rival.
I'm going to have to disagree with you. I'm going to pick the Lumberjacks on this one. I think the Lumberjacks, Lunne, I think, can control the game a little bit better than Cradlebaugh can. Lunne he came in a few times last year when Irby was hurt. And I just think, they got Armagero and Armstrong, 2 of the leading receivers and a rusher. I think they have better experience. But it'll be an interesting game throughout for our Week 4 game of the week. And it looks like the band's about ready for the national anthem, so we'll toss it over to them and be back.
High school marching band.
We're back here for kickoff. It looked like Oakwood won and deferred the kickoff to the second half. So Valley View will be kicking off, and Oakwood will be moving from left to right on your screen. And it looks like number 46 will be kicking off for the Spartans. That is not on my roster.
Yeah, let's not quote these rosters too safe. I find out some of the names as we go along, but nonetheless, we're ready for kickoff here in Oakwood. It's a beautiful night for football.
Fielding at about the 15-yard line. That is number 15, Jack Sargent, with the return, and he's out to about maybe the 20.
And there is Jake Sargent, pretty solid return, and Jared, that will be the key weapon here tonight for Oakwood, as he has been a jack of all trades, even throwing for a touchdown this year.
Is that a pun
getting
intended?
in the rushing game.
Is that a pun intended with the Jack?
No, his name's Jake.
But here we go. We get our first look at Tommy Lunne, the quarterback for Oakwood. Looks like they're going to come out in. He's going to come out under center. Lunne is number 14, 6'1", 195 pounds. Soft.
That is a toss around the left.
Senior.
And number 3 with the run, Josh Amangero. And the running game, not a strong suit for Oakwood football this year at all. Their leading rusher is Amangero, and he has 74 yards.
In 3 games, that's not good.
Yeah, on 34 rushes, which averages out to about 2.2 yards a carry.
Well, he just picked up 5 there. 2nd and 5 from the 22. And this is really Lunne. Last year when they had Brian Irby did not line up under center at much. And I think Armagero just got the handoff again.
And good motion by Sargent there, drawing some of the attention away from the middle.
So it's going to be interesting to see how Oakwood does. I mean, we've always seen Brian Irby lining up in the shotgun. There's a gain of 2 by Armagero, 3rd and 3.
He's a very big-time player for them.
And official stop play. Oakwood calls a timeout not even 2 minutes into the game.
Very, very early. Interesting to see what that one's for. So we'll have an early break in this one before a flow could even be established.
Water break for the refs.
So that's 2 for them left already, with
a minute
barely
9 gone in the game.
Barely a minute into the game.
So Oakwood better pick up the first down if they want to waste a timeout that early.
Yes, indeed. My guess is they had something they wanted to pull out here.
I have
Needed
no
careful instruction, maybe. We'll see now as Valley View comes out their break.
Still had, I mean, Oakwood came out of their timeout. I mean, they have the play clock switched to the timeout clock here. They still had almost 30 seconds when they came back out on the field. Lunne hands off to Armagero, and it'll be close to see if he got the first down. And by that spot, I don't think he got it. Be 4th and probably less than 1.
And
It'll
how
be
about
interesting.
that stingy defense from the Spartans? And it looks like they'll bring out a different set here. This appears to be a punt.
Jake Sargent, I guess he is a jack of all trades. He's the punter too.
Punting it, returning it,
Running it.
passing
He's
it.
backup quarterback, so he might
Yeah.
pass it. And Valley View just called a timeout. So 2 timeouts gone in less than 2 minutes of gameplay.
Back-to-back very early. Definitely not
This is a
a
head
normal
scratching.
strategy.
Yeah. You want to use, if I'm Oakwood's coach, I'd send back out the quarterback and make him use another timeout.
So 2 early, very early breaks in the
Yeah.
action.
Well, last time we were here in Oakwood for the game of the week, Valley View was up almost, I think, 3 scores in the 4th quarter late, and Oakwood ended up coming back. So I guess timeouts aren't that important to these 2 teams.
And not how Oakwood wanted to get this one started, but looks like they'll finally punt it away,
Maybe.
barring another timeout. But Lunne is a very good quarterback and the leader of this offense, but something he has to improve on is efficiency.
Yeah, 6 interceptions is not good. High snap. Kick is a low kick, and it was fielded at about the 32-yard line. And he is hit. Well, his own player held him up. That is a return by number 30, Lucas Lynch. And
No, that was 32.
32.
Mauricio.
Jarrett Lynch. Look at Valley View's roster.
Yeah.
And I thought I did see a flag come on the field. I don't know. And it was a block in the back, so the back him up 15 yards. So Valley View will have a decent starting field position at about the 26, 25-yard line. You see right there, he held onto the jersey, so it's a holding, not a block in the back. Cradle hands it off right up the middle for number 34, Max Shuey. Don't really see the fullback on the high school roster that much anymore. Shuey gained about 2 on the play.
And Shuey, one of their more effective players on
I
both
think-
sides of the ball.
I think it'd be
Definitely a leader.
effective down at the goal line.
Cradle ball around the
going to
end.
keep it. Cradle ball makes one defender miss. Cradle ball out to the 40. Let's see where the refs mark him out at about the 39 and a half. So it'll be enough for a first down.
And very nice burst shown by the junior quarterback there. He seemed to break 2 tackles
And a stiff arm.
just around that edge. Now another player to watch for Valley View's offense is number 18 on the outside, Troy Coulter, their leading receiver this year so far.
Shuey gets the handoff. And Shuey is hit right at the line of scrimmage by a bunch of Lumberjacks. I'd say first contact goes to number 3, maybe Josh Armagero, as he blew through right as the whistle was, or as it was snapped.
And number 3 is pumped up, screaming at his defense.
2nd and 13.
So a minor setback here. We'll see how Valley View adjusts on offense. Cradle ball bringing him out here.
Well, gonna line up and
3 wide receivers set with a tight end.
nope, he's gonna go back under center. Cradle ball quick out pass to number 17, Ben Owens, and Owens will be close to midfield about, well, actually about the 47. So it'll be 3rd and short.
Good little flat play. He discovered a miscover down there in the slot. Perhaps some zone coverage there, but Ben Owens, not let him fool you. He has been a huge part of this offense as well this year with 9 receptions, 138 yards, 2nd on the team, and 1st in the team with touchdowns with 3.
Owens goes in motion. Shuey gets the handoff, and I think actually Cradle ball kept it, and he's hit in the backfield for about a 2-yard loss, so it'll be 4th down, and it'll be interesting to see what Valley View does here.
And so that's definitely a punt there.
Yeah, if you can't hear the Valley View fans behind us yelling punt. 4th and 4 from the 44, and it looks like
Number 3 on the punt for Valley View, JT Ferguson, a freshman.
the officials stop the game on the far side of the field.
Clock is running.
Good snap, good punt. And it's gonna roll down towards the end zone. It's in the 10, and it goes out at about the 8. So a good punt by Ferguson, and Valley View pins Oakwood deep inside the 10.
An excellent pursuit by the ball by number 11 there, Dylan Branham, the junior. And out comes Tommy Lunne again, Oakwood's quarterback.
3 and out on the first drive. Let's see if they can handle it and do something better on this drive.
Nothing but runs. We'll see if they go to some short stuff early to try to get a rhythm going.
About a 48-yard punt. That is for the Ferguson on that last one. Lunne back to pass, throws it out, and it's incomplete. Intended to, number 15 for the Lumberjacks, Sargent.
Great deflection. Good defense there by Johnny Jones, number 30, the senior defensive back.
Maybe if we can look at replay of that, I think that one was behind Sargent from the beginning, and he was lucky he got a hand on it and maybe try to come up with a catch.
Well, Lunne has to place those short throws if he's going to want to get going. 43% completion percentage on the year.
You look there, yeah, the pass had Sargent turned all around.
Looking to the left again, and a cut.
Back into live football, and that'll be close to a first down, depending on the spot, as that is number 4, Lander Wheat with a catch. Gain of about 8 out to the 16.
Some good rack ability there. Lunne to the left.
Lunne's going to keep it
carry.
himself, and he's going to be tackled maybe at the line of scrimmage, maybe a loss of 1, but another quick 3 and out for this Lumberjacks team.
Good play on the edge by Max Smith, but not very good execution on that offensive line. There's a lot of penetration there initially. And 2nd and 16. Oh no, 4th and 2.
4th and 2.
I read it wrong.
Yeah, the scoreboard's backwards. And Sargent on to punt once again for the Lumberjacks, his 2nd punt of this first quarter. Sargent punt. This one's better than the first one, but it barely gets to midfield. And there's going to be a return. And that is number 32 once again, Jarrett Lynch, and he will give the Valley View Spartans excellent starting field position on the plus side of the 50.
Good tackle there by Jack Armstrong, one of Oakwood's top receivers. Putting a little extra effort there.
So we've seen 2 drives by each, or 1 drive by each team so far, and really Oakwood does not have an answer to move the ball against this Valley View defense so far. Let's see if Valley View can turn the tide and maybe break the end zone
And
here.
here's a 3 receivers set, Jared, but
in shotgun too.
Number 8, Liam Musgrove, is 5'6", a tight end.
Ball throws it right in the middle of the field to Owens, and Owens, he has got to watch going to the ground with that ball. That was loose. Gain of about 5 on the play.
Good execution to get this drive rolling at first. And a big determining factor of this game, Jared, is how they're able to contain Cradle Ball. So a lot of spacing on the field right now. Under center he is.
Ball throws a quick pass to number 8. That is
Liam Musgrove, the freshman I was just talking about.
Yeah.
He lined up at tight end last formation at 5'6", 130 pounds.
I wouldn't line him up as tight end. That is enough for a first down for Valley View. So the 2nd first down for the Spartans in this game.
And the freshman looked very elusive there. As you see on the City Barbecue replay, breaks a tackle. Gets about 4 extra yards due to his effort. And Valley View in trips to the right now.
Ball fakes the handoff to Shuey.
Great read option.
And
to the
Ball
left.
still on his feet, and he might have enough for a first down depending on that spot. You can see cameras right on the first down marker, and it'll be 2nd and about 1.
And the defensive line thought they read the play like a book, but instead they got duped.
If they handed it off to Garnett, yeah.
Very aesthetic execution there. And a similar formation with Cradle Ball under center. Drops back, looks to the left.
Quick pass, and it is dropped by number 18, Troy Coulter. That's a first down play that you cannot, or a 2nd down play to make it a first down that you cannot drop. Now it's 3rd down and short instead of a 1st and 1.
And I would see if you could probably get it maybe to the other side here with the same flat kind of play. They're playing off the wide receivers.
No, they're going to
Very
bunch
often.
up. And it looks like Cradleball might run it himself. No, they're going to do an end around with the freshman you just talked about. And Oakwood read it perfectly.
Musgrove goes down in the backfield.
Carter Winch with the initial contact for the Lumberjacks.
They were back there fast.
4th and 6, and let's see what the Skidmore does. It looks like he's going to keep his offense on the field for 4th and 6.
And it's not often you see an offense get moved back 5 yards and still continue to go for it. We'll see if Valley View's approach is successful here.
Cradleball back to pass. He's going to tuck it and run. He has Sargent. He makes him miss, and it's not going to be enough for the first down, and Oakwood will take over on turnover on downs.
Great stop here, being stubborn early by Oakwood. Get the ball back in your playmaker's hands, see what you can do. Games like these, especially when it comes to Valley View Oakwood, the initial score is very, very important.
Yeah. I mean, with a game like this, it could be whoever has the ball last wins.
So here we go, 3:11 left.
But see, this, you circle that play. When you look at game film next week, that second down pass drop by Troy Coulter ended that drive. As Armagero looks like he gets the pitch out, and he has enough for a first
Actually,
down.
that was Lander Wheat.
Oh. Number went by too fast.
Number 4, yes it did. Got to the outside, making some things happen with some space. And finally, Oakwood gets some movement.
A gain of 6 on the play.
In the best position they've been to make plays all night.
Biggest play for them offensively tonight so far. And the receivers down here on the close to you looks like they're confused. Number 2, Armstrong, and 15, Sargent.
And here we go, another timeout here early.
Oakwood taking another timeout, leaving them with just 1 left for the rest of this half. I don't know if it's just bad miscues or the play calling is not coming in on the sideline. See, this is why when we do Miamisburg in a couple weeks, you'll see their quarterback run in with the play, and he'll go to the sideline every time to their coach.
Mm-hmm. And my guess is coaches take this thing very seriously. This is kind of the game. This is the game at this school in particular that can make or break your career. These kind of games.
Well, this game is normally
Rivalry.
a week 7, week 8 game, and then
Yeah.
week 4 you move it up and you start conference play a whole lot earlier, and computer points count more towards conference games. So this could be determining on which of these two teams make the playoffs.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on coaches to be nearly perfect, especially as you move towards this stretch, both 1 and 2. So some very desperate subjects up at hand.
All right, so out of the Oakwood timeout, Lunne lined up in shotgun, surprisingly. Lunne fakes the handoff, and he's going to air it out to the far sideline, and it is almost hauled in by number 2, Jack Armstrong. A jump ball between him and number 32, Jarrett Lynch, right in front of us.
Through his hands.
So now 3rd and 4 coming up into 35. This could end up being one of the biggest possessions Oakwood has in this game. I mean, your defense just came out and forced a big 4th down stop. And an official stoppage and play again. Oh, substitution is number 5, Jack Cannon comes off for the Lumberjacks, and number 13, Rodney Jones comes in.
A lot of movement on the field now.
So it looks like they're going to probably maybe run the same play again. But I mean, if you look at it, look at number 4, Lander Wheat. Oh, here comes the safety. It creeps up on him now. And they're going to go to the other side of the field, intended to number 15, Jake Sargent, and then falls incomplete. 4th down and 4 coming up.
But nonetheless, Logan Tays, the safety there, as you pointed out at the last second, sniffed that play out. It was going to be an out route to number 4 there, but some very good homework done.
Well, thank you. Oh, not my homework? So Sargent on to punt for the 3rd time this quarter. Not many teams hold the ball for 3 times in 1 quarter and come up with 3 punts.
Well, you'd think also after 3 timeouts used, you'd have some successful drives by now.
Sargent's punt end over end, making Lynch go back, and Lynch fumbles it. And Lynch still on his feet. He's coming. And Lynch will be tackled at about the 30 by the punter, Sargent.
And Sargent might have saved about 10 more yards there.
Yeah, he came downfield in a hurry for the Lumberjacks and
Very
got
quickly.
that tackle.
And nonetheless, it brings on Cradle Ball.
For his 3rd drive of the game.
So far, Valley View's offense has looked a little more successful, but not by much.
No, I mean, both teams.
Some more chunk plays, but other than that, nothing too exciting going in this one so far. 2 minutes left here in the first.
Cradle Ball lined up in shotgun with Shuey next to him. Shuey will not get a handoff. Cradle Ball fake it, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage. Tackle will go to number 59, Charlie Burke, for the Lumberjacks.
A nice chunk game there. A solid 3-yard first down play.
Coming out of the huddle, I mean, they ran it with Shuey 1 time, and it looked like it worked, but they haven't went back to it since.
Well, Shuey does not have a lot of rushes on the season, so it doesn't appear that they go to him very often so far.
So he might just be in there for blocking purposes. As they're going to throw a screen to Shuey, and I would get out. Well, look at that, number 3, Armagero, coming up with a tackle. Shuey 6'1", 190, and
Yeah,
Armagero 5'9", 170.
You can tell.
Initially, I would want to get out of the way of that.
Yeah, well, no, it looked like he was headed for him full steam, and he just cut.
Cut right off
Planted,
the yeah.
and that cut was very slow, and allowing him Armagero just to wrap up his ankles.
3rd and 3 with 50 seconds left in the first quarter. Cradle Ball under center. Cradle Ball going to throw a quick out to 18 Coulter, and he has enough for a first down to stop it with 45.4 seconds left.
And pretty execution there on the out route.
I think if he would have dropped that one and had 2 wide open passes dropped, I think he'd be on the bench the rest of the game.
Oh, yeah. Or at least a very stern talk.
Oh, he's getting that at halftime anyway.
There we go. Cradle Ball lines up under center again.
And I think Valley View, nope, false start.
Y'all haven't had any cable ties or something with your equipment and stuff, do you?
Do what?
You don't happen to have like some cable ties or something with you, do you?
I can go back to the track and get some more. Why?
I got one of my instruments down here for my band guys. The barrel nut fell out, so I'm just trying to rig it so they can play halftime.
Okay, I'll get it in a second.
Thanks, bud.
Uh-huh.
So stoppage on the play.
Oh,
Four on the
false
play
start.
clock.
Cradle Ball handed it off to number 17, Owens, in the backfield.
So sort of a delayed carry there, but it worked. 30 seconds left in the first quarter.
Just 30 seconds left. 2nd and 5 from the 48. Coming out of the timeout, there is no difference. I mean, if Oakwood does, or Valley View doesn't want to hike it, they do not have to. And with 7 seconds left, it looks like Cradle Ball's just going to let this one sit.
Yeah, he's looking towards the sideline, just kind of chilling right now.
And that is how the first quarter will end. 0-0 tie in our MVCC game of the week for week number 4.
Not very much progress made by either of the sides there offensively. So through this first time out, Valley View will be reevaluating their offense and different concepts. Definitely, and Oakwood will trying to find ways to stop the dangerous quarterback, Cade Cradle Ball. So far in this first quarter, it looks like both coaches being very, very careful with every move they make. 3 timeouts used already between 2 teams combined. And it looks like Valley View Spartans will come out and kick off this second quarter. And cradle ball coming out under center now. Shuey in the backfield. And after the motion, that is Owens on the outside, getting the pitch but goes nowhere. Oakwood back very quickly. As you see on the City Barbecue replay, he tried the pitch with Mauricio Herringer. Coming up, stopping that one for about -3. Owens in motion here. Cradle ball gets the snap. And scanning, and Valley View looking for a call. Looked like there could have been a call, but ball was a little out of the area. So good no call there, 4th down. So another punt. A lot of conservative play here from both offenses and stingy defenses. Looking like it's going to be a long one tonight. And Ferguson with a solid punt, and it's going to be a fair catch taken by Sargent. And that is going to bring back out Tommy Lunne here for the first time in the second quarter. These teams will try to desperately get something going. It's another change of possession here. It'll hopefully change the way this game has been so far.
Lunne out to lead, what is this, the 5th drive for them so far?
And there's a pitch to the right.
It looks like Armagero with the pitch.
Ripped off a good little game there. And they're gonna call it none. Oh, 2, okay.
Gain of 2 on that. That's the only bad thing about pitches is it takes the whole length of the field to get the play going.
Yeah, he looked like he ran a lot longer than he actually did.
So 2nd and 8, Lunne under center.
I formation here. I'll hand it off.
And Lunne,
Oh.
it's read in the backfield perfectly by number 33, Max Smith, with a huge tackle for loss on Armagero.
And they faked it to the fullback here. And Armagero looks a little shaken up on the play.
The fullback might still
He
be
got
running.
pummeled.
Look at that, just initial contact. Max Smith read that one perfectly.
Shoulder to shoulder, and then goes around his body and cuts it off from the back.
A loss of 6 on the play.
So huge 3rd and 14.
Oakwood student section trying to pump up their team. Lunne going deep to the far sideline. Hauled in by number 2, Jack Armstrong. And he breaks the tackle. He's still on his feet. Cuts
Oh
back
my
in across the
God.
field. Armstrong running. Armstrong is going to have himself a touchdown.
Jack Armstrong still running all the way to the end zone. First touchdown of this game.
And how about that? A 90-yard catch and run by Jack Armstrong from Tyler Lunne.
In exhilarating fashion at that.
I don't know what it is about this year, but we love having long touchdowns, but I'll take it. It makes the games more interesting. And Oakwood finally breaks the scoreboard first.
And Lunne just breaking the
Watch
ice.
this broken tackle. He
Get
somehow
He broke like about 4 tackles on
4
that
at
one.
once, and then it was just a foot race for a little bit from number 30 of Valley View, Johnny Jones. But after that, it's just a foot race or a walk-in for a touchdown.
That is Armstrong's 3rd receiving touchdown, and that puts him, no doubt, over 250 yards on the season.
Number 1, Billy Bolkovolis. Extra point is up and good. And Oakwood leads for the first time 7-0 late into this second quarter of play.
And what an exhilarating play to break that barrier of zeros, Jared.
And plays like that get the team, big hype plays like that gets the team more pumped up for later in the game.
Indeed, he muscled through about 4 tackles. Some amazing rack ability there, run after catch.
But now it's time for Cradaball's turn to come out and see what he can do.
Definitely going to have to keep up. Lunne's 7th touchdown of the year puts him over 500 passing yards now. Definitely some pressure on number 4 to urge that offense along.
I don't know. I think Valley View's just going to come out and run the same thing. Oakwood's not been really mustering anything, and then they get one broken play that turns into a big score. But I think, momentumly, I still think this is in Valley View's hands.
Yeah, and the entire play is based off of bad tackling. One tackle gets made, they're still on the 24.
Yeah. Campbell set to kick off for the Lumberjacks. Their first kickoff of the game. I thought there was a rule in football that you can't stack one side of the line. It's a squib right up the middle, and they're going to let it roll,
goodness.
And that's a bad decision by the Valley View return team. But number 31, Lucas Lynch, picks up at about the 30, it looked like.
So not too bad of field position to start this one.
25.
But it's proven to be very essential that they're going to need to get close if they want some surefire scores. That play was a running mistake, so.
But right now they're playing mistake-free, and that's all that, it really matters going into the late quarters of a football game. If you can play mistake-free early, you can take those chances down the field.
Yeah, so far, other than a few 10-yard plays by Oakwood, very disciplined on defense. And
Cradaball pump fakes and turns around and runs back upfield, and then he's going to turn around and go the other way.
Oh, my God.
Evades one tackle, and that's a hard work for about 5 yards.
Changed directions about 3 times and made that one look a lot cooler than it actually was.
All that for a gain of 2.
Still great durability shown.
Rather you fake that and go that way.
The junior quarterback.
Cradaball lined up under center once again.
And second downs proven to be huge in this game so far, especially for Valley View. And no one covering the slot receiver for Oakwood, and he was even looking that way.
Play is blown dead immediately. Timeout called by Valley View.
Wow. Huh. I was really expecting Oakwood to call a timeout.
Right,
in that case.
Valley View looked like they had the matchup they
Mismatch.
wanted on the outside. I don't know. But 8:45, 2nd and 8.
And now each team has one timeout. May end up being a factor here a little later in this one.
Valley View has got to get something going down the field. Like you said, Oakwood, that one busted play and poor tackling is how they have the early lead. But other than that, Valley View has consistently moved the ball for 5 or 6 plays and then punted. And Oakwood has consistently went 3 and out.
Well, so far, Valley View has really had the run after catch game working for them a little more than usual. And so I think they really need to take advantage of how soft Oakwood is playing on their wide receivers and let Cradaball get a few nice completions.
Oakwood's playing way too far off the receivers. You think they would challenge them. Just looking and eyeballing it across the field, it looks like Oakwood has the height advantage on all the receivers for Valley View. And a quick out pass to that's number 18, Coulter.
And Troy Coulter, exactly the plays I was just talking about, and exactly the play they need to keep running.
I mean, first down moves the chains and keeps the game going, but I mean, Coulter, I mean, Valley View should actually be, or it should be tied, but Coulter had that one drop on second and short.
Well, this time they do have someone lined up in this, guarding the slot. It's going to be a handoff anyways.
To Shuey, it looks like, and Shuey just goes nowhere.
The big man brought down immediately. It's going to be second and short, 2nd and 8 again.
Armagero with another tackle.
He has been everywhere on defense tonight.
I don't think I've seen him come off the field.
Proving a very effective player no matter what his stat sheet says. Crate a ball with trips to the right.
Lined up in shotgun, and he's going to run it and pitch it to Shuey on the outside, and that'll be enough for a first down for the Valley View Spartans. I love how they say Shuey's the ball carrier, but Cradleball did all the work until right there. And Shuey just runs until he gets pushed out of bounds.
Oh, they're lined up in goal line formation here.
And I think that nobody was set on the offensive line.
They were trying to
false start against Valley View.
Get them off guard. Worked against them there.
Yeah, they got their own players off guard. So it'll be 3rd and 7 now.
And with a no-huddle play like that, the biggest part about it is making sure everyone's on the same page. Didn't look so there. Didn't look as so.
Cradleball going to line up in shotgun again. Back to pass.
Looking
Cradleball.
right.
And Cradleball
Gets
evades
off of the
the
blitz.
early pressure, and he stays on his feet.
How is that man
and gets
still
rid
up?
of it. And it's a completion to the sideline. Let's see what the refs say.
Oh, wow. It was a deflection.
Incomplete, but what a sense for Cradleball to get rid of it.
Wow, right there is when
He called it out. That was intended for Coulter once again.
Yeah, very good defense by Rodney Jones, but wow. At one point I was wondering, how is this man still walking?
I was surprised that he actually evaded the rush. I mean, that was heavy pressure from both sides of Oakwood.
He evaded all the rushes.
4th and 7, and on to punt again is Valley View. See if they can pin him deep. Punt is a low punt, and it's going towards the sideline. And let's see where the refs mark that out at.
And wow, Valley View.
At the 45 for Oakwood, so about that's a 10-yard punt.
Valley View has to be frustrated. They're just not executing on the plays they need to. Their offense isn't looking that bad.
No, it's just the key plays that where they need. I mean,
and they're not making a ton of mistakes either.
No, it's a few mistimed penalties and drop passes that have pinned them deep in the down to go situation.
And not a good punt either. So
no, I mean a 10-yard punt is not something that you want to hang your hat on. But now your defense has to come back out and work with a shorter field to try and stop the Lumberjacks as they've got all momentum on their side. And Lunne going far to the sideline, and it's hauled in by number 2, Armstrong, and I don't think that was intended for him. He caught that over the shoulder.
And definitely not the target here, but it'll be completed nonetheless.
I mean, this was Armstrong's all the way.
And that was off his back foot too, Jared.
That, I believe, that was Sargent's all the way, and Armstrong just come in over the shoulder catch, not really looking.
Well, as long as you have the only 2 guys you throw it to in the same area, that's all that counts, right? And Lunne is pumped up. You can see it in his demeanor now, leading his offense to the line of scrimmage. 4 receivers, 1 halfback behind him, and he takes a snap, looks to the right.
It's going to throw it to Armstrong again on the out route, and just like that, Lunne has 3 for 3, his last 3 passes for over 150 yards. And I think Oakwood just took their final time out. No, the officials will stop play.
Nope, time for a water break, Jared.
Oh, yeah. The ref has picked up the ball. He's changing out the game ball.
Deflate gate.
Oh, my
Deflate
goodness.
gate.
It's not a football game until you mention deflate gate. They still haven't. Oh, there it is. Okay, they brought in a replacement ball. Let's check the PSI count on that.
And nobody in the backfield.
Lunne airing it out on the sideline. Nobody's there, and it's incomplete. It was intended to look like to number 12, Andy Paul.
And wow, that was a horrendous overthrow there.
Yeah, that was. I think Palco thought it was a hitch and go, and it was just a post route. It looked like Lunne wanted to throw. I mean, he put everything under that. Lunne back to pass again, airing it out of the sideline again, and it is almost hauled in, one-handed catch.
It looked like it was going to be picked off there for a few by Jared Lynch. Caught a break there.
That's when Armstrong, the receiver, turns into a defender.
And they'll send out the punting unit here.
This is a chance in the game where I'd gamble for it. I'd go for it. 4th and 6 from your own 30.
You got to think, how far can you put them back, too?
Right. I mean, if you put this in the end zone and they come out to the 20, it's a 14-yard punt.
Especially the kind of rhythm that Oakwood has gotten the last few drives.
The defense has stepped up phenomenally over the last few drives, too.
But they're going to give them the opportunity here. The Spartans will happily accept.
And this one's going towards the end zone, and it's going to take a Valley View bounce all the way out of the back of the end zone. And just like that, it's a 14-yard punt.
Yeah, very questionable here.
It's better than a 10-yard punt.
Well, you got to think, Valley View hasn't done very much with any field position you've given them at all tonight, and so you might as well go for that one.
Right.
But Oakwood opted.
One timeout, 6:53 left, and you got 80 yards looking at you and the potential tying score going into the half. So it'll be interesting to see. Cradle ball faked the handoff, and it's going to go out to, I cannot see the far side. That is Coulter once again.
That was the freshman Liam
Oh,
Musgrove.
Well, Coulter
Number 8
overshadowed him when they got up.
Yeah, as you can see, they didn't even put anybody on the slot receiver that time. Just had the in and outside linebacker running towards him, but could not catch him.
I mean, you fake that handoff with one hand to Shuey, and you throw it a bullet out to the freshman.
Well, with all the success had tonight by the slot receiver and those little dump flat routes, and I would definitely go with the nickel from now on. But they're packing the box and just keeping the safety out there.
Cradle ball back to pass. Cradle
He's
ball
gonna
hit
launch
as he
it.
threw.
Overthrow.
Almost coming up with was number 13, Rodney Jones. Got a hand on it, intended to Coulter for the Spartans.
As you see this on the City Barbecue replay, Oakwood gets a very good penetration on the defensive line. A lot of pressure there.
3rd and 2 now from 28 for Valley View.
Gigantic drive for Cradle ball here.
Cradle ball back to pass. Cradle ball's going to tuck it and run, and he has the first down and some more out across the 40, out to about the 45.
Good deception there by Valley View. Fake halfback handoff instead of the read option.
Out to the 35. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong numbers. Clock is still going. Play clock's down under 10. And Cradle ball, did he keep that himself?
No.
Oh, number 17 with the carry there, Owens. But a flag on the play.
Not a good way to continue the drive after finally getting some progress.
And it looks like it's holding against Valley View.
Very essential mistakes Seems like every time they take a step forward, it's 2 steps back.
Yeah. And this is an absolute drive killer. Now it'll be 1st and 20.
And the
So really-
Lumberjacks are loving it.
You're back where you started. From the first drive. And the clock is still going to be running, and the play clock's already under 10. And I don't know if Cradle Ball realizes that he does. Back to pass, airing it out to the far sideline, hauled in by Coulter. Coulter stays in bounds and then tiptoes out of bounds. His momentum could not keep it in bounds.
Good route ran there, but great recognition by Cradle Ball to
And that's
laser
enough
that
for a
throw
first,
in.
nope, second down.
Almost
Just look at the
stayed in bounds.
tiptoe, and then he just falls out. The momentum carries him out of bounds. Gain of 14 on that play, 2nd and 6 now.
They're fighting back against the penalty here. Under center, Cradle Ball will be.
Cradle Ball going to throw quick out to Lynch. Lynch stiff arms, but is wrapped up by number 35 of the Lumberjacks.
That's going to be a first down. Oh, wow.
Jaden Safer.
I thought it was going to be a first down, but they're going to mark this one.
3rd and, nope, there they go. They dial it down move.
Here's the change.
So a first down by mere inches.
It's 2 first downs here. Valley View needs to keep this going on this
They
drive in particular.
At least need to come away with 3 on this drive.
The trips to the left.
Cradle Ball play clock's down to 3. Cradle Ball hands off to Lynch again. And Oakwood is just trying to rip the ball out, as you saw number 32. You want to take a shot at that one?
Mauricio Herringer.
Herringer came up raking for that one. 4:44 left in the game, or in the half, 2nd and 5.
Jared Lynch getting involved a lot here in this second quarter, the Valley View offense.
I don't really understand why Valley View is taking so much time. I mean, they're wasting so much time that they could be coming back, and that's a quick pass to number 31. That is Lucas Lynch, and he has enough for a first down into Oakwood territory, out to the 41, or down to the 41, I should say.
So Little Lynch getting involved too.
Yeah, one's a senior, one's a sophomore.
3 first downs, and
In a row.
Valley View is on a roll right now. Just before the end of this second quarter. 4 minutes to go here on the clock. Trips to the left again.
But they've been targeting the right when they line up like that. Cradle Ball going to fake it, rolling to the left. He's going to keep in. He's rolling the wrong way. He's got to get rid of it. And gets rid of it out of bounds. And let's see.
No grounding.
Oakwood side wanting an intentional grounding call. And he had to make sure he got out of the pocket.
Yeah, no grounding there. And it was intended to Coulter on the Trips left side screen, but it looked like Cradle Ball just didn't like the look he had facing the corner.
I would have thrown that one 4 yards deep in the
As you can
stands.
see on the City Barbecue replay.
Instead of, look at all the time he's wasting.
They kept running towards. I feel like they didn't block the guys they were supposed to.
Yeah, well, yeah, there was 4 people.
On the left
Lumberjacks
side.
looking at him in the face.
Yeah.
Cradle Ball fakes the handoff to Shuey, and Cradle Ball turned around from behind.
Goes absolutely nowhere as number 70, Carter Winch, on the play, the senior defensive lineman.
Cradle Ball came busting through, and he was spun around immediately. And just like that, it's 3rd and long from the 42 with just under 3.5 minutes left in the first half.
And Winch has been a huge part of this Oakwood defensive line tonight, getting in the teeth of the offense.
Cradle Ball back to pass. Airing out towards the middle of the field. It's a duck, and it's a catch! Incomplete.
Wow.
Oh,
Troy
Coulter could not come up with it.
That was so close, and we were just talking about that man, number 70. He got in the backfield, almost hit Cradle Ball, as you can see on the City Barbecue replay. Just as he was throwing it, number 70 came right in his face, and that was actually in Coulter's hands.
Yeah, if you're Coulter, you have got to come up with that catch.
No
That was right
excuse
in the
not to make
breadbasket.
that play.
And Valley View is going to go for it on 4th and 10.
And that is his second gigantic
Oh,
drop
no,
tonight.
there's the punter.
And Colts are 2 essential drops so far.
That has ended the drive. And that's a punt heading towards the sideline. And it will be out of bounds at about, let's see where the ref stops. The 25, between the 25 and the 26. So 3:01 left. Oakwood has 1 timeout. And they're going to see if they can add on to their lead.
Yeah. I mean, with 7-0, you can't really go that wrong other than giving them the ball back and let them score. So good position. Here is Tommy Lunne in this Oakwood offense as they come out 7-0, 3 minutes left in the half. And as the night goes on, you'll hear the crowd. And I think that's their 3rd timeout, yes.
I am definitely scratching my head on that one. Your offense had been on the sideline. You knew what you wanted to do.
Hey, man, Oakwood really likes taking their time.
And
There's nothing wrong with
timeouts.
figuring everything out.
Well, yeah, I mean, the most important game as this one is. I mean, this could, like we said in the beginning of the game, this could determine playoff positioning and who makes it and who doesn't.
Local radio.
Actually, local cable channel. Okay. Yeah. That's on channel 21.
So Lunne out of the Oakwood timeout before the offense even took the field. Lunne going to line up under center. Looney's going to run it right up the middle. First time we've seen him do that tonight.
And that was definitely a head scratcher starting off the drive.
And you took a timeout to call that?
Yeah, maybe just getting the clock running, but I think he could have done it in a little bit more of an effective way, but I guess better safe than sorry. We go with the QB sneak right up the middle.
Looney going to line up right under center again. It'll be interesting to see if he does. Well, he don't. He's going to hand off to
Amangero up the middle. We got to bring up 3rd and about 2.
And if you're Valley View, 3rd and 2, if you get to stop here, I take that time out immediately to save as much time on the clock. 3rd and 3 in Oakwood. I mean, if Oakwood, or if the Valley View gets to stop and they call the timeout, they'll get the ball back with about a minute.
Yeah, I definitely think calling that timeout
40.
after this is the way to go.
They're going to run it right up the middle. Armagero does not have the first down, and it'll be interesting to see Oakwood or Valley View does not call the timeout.
They're going to give it to him. They gave him the first down.
That's a spot I would ask for a measurement.
Questionable spot.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a measurement on it. That's a first down.
I would definitely, if I was
Very
Valley View's
close.
head coach, I'd ask for a measurement. So the clock's going to continue to run. Looney, that's a backwards pass. And he's hit in the backfield immediately by number 33, it looked like.
Max Smith.
Max Smith had two huge tackles for loss in this half. A loss of 5 on the play.
Looked like a little bubble screen there. Oh, actually.
I think he was looking to pass
Yeah,
it.
that was a fake run pass. And you saw Jake Sargent as he was 2 for 3, 30 yards on the season with a touchdown. So probably seen that look a couple times.
A toss to the outside to Armagero, and he's tackled at the original line of scrimmage.
Number 23, Steven Gantert.
With 55 seconds left, let's see if Oakwood plays with some urgency. But I mean, if I'm Valley View and you get this stop, I say take the timeout immediately.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, 30 seconds, even if you get the ball back with 20 seconds,
Yeah.
it's still, you can still do something.
Well, this is not a game where field position has shifted a lot, so
Play clock's
definitely
down to
use
10.
Timeout after here, see what you can do.
Lunne hands it right off the middle, and let's see if Valley View takes the timeout. And Valley View calls the timeout immediately with 20.7 seconds left.
And they're going to try to do something before this half, Jared.
So Valley View calls the timeout with 20.7 seconds left. So you got to make Oakwood at least line up to punt it.
And we'll see if they'll come out with a different play design on the punt return. A lot of teams go for broke here.
This is where a spot in the game I would line up for a return, not a block.
Yeah.
Because if you run into the kicker, and that's 15 yards and a first down for Oakwood, and they can sit on it. I say get your men back, set up a block, and see if you can maybe get the ball back at about midfield. And I mean, Cradleball looks like he has the arm to get it from the 50 to the end zone.
See if we can get some Hail Mary action here.
Number 32, Jarrett Lynch, is standing at about his own 40, and he's going to back up to about the 35. Armstrong has not had the best punts the last few for Oakwood, so it'll be interesting to see. And it looks like Oakwood, or Valley View's coaching staff, is telling him to go back. Oakwood, Armstrong sends a booming punt down inside the 20, and let's see if it'll roll into the end zone.
And wow.
It does not.
What a beautiful punt.
Oakwood pins him inside the 1. What a punt by Armstrong.
And barring a gigantic mistake, there is no chance Valley View is scoring before the half of this one.
But now Oakwood has a shot. I mean, 1st and 10 from the 1. You have to hike it.
That was the most perfect scenario you could have imagined there. If you're Oakwood.
You say special teams wins games? I mean, I would be nervous handing it off to Shuey. You're lined up in. And they're going to get out of the end zone, and that is going to be how the first half will end. Oakwood will go in a 7-point lead at the half in our MVCC City Barbecue Game of the Week for week number 4. Has to happen for Valley View to come out in this second half and start this drive and potentially tie this game up, which they need to.
Well, Jared, I definitely think they need to come out with a balanced attack here, take advantage of more of the early running downs, and then get some short, choppy plays along to keep the rhythm going. Much like they had, they've just been having some real inopportune mistakes that have been preventing them from kind of leaping over the wall in this one. And they've been so close so many different times, but
and 2 of them belong to Troy Coulter. 2 drop passes on wide open that ended up stalling out 2 drives that would have ended in 7.
And 1 was a 38-yard pass. And wow, he had the safety beat and everything. And so definitely going to have to take advantage of what Oakwood gives them more. And the squib kicks off the second half.
And it's going to
That's a flag.
Go out of bounds.
And that's going to start on the 40, so excellent field position here for Valley View to start to mount a very short comeback. Oakwood wanted to be up, I'm sure they wanted to be up more than 7 here to begin the second half, but they're going to take what they can get.
A lead's a lead in football.
And their defense has been very stingy today.
Especially those last few possessions that when Valley View had the offense of the first half, Oakwood seemed to come up and they brought a lot more blitzes.
Yeah, and for every time Valley View executed, they were getting the teeth of the offense.
Yeah.
And Cradleball come back in kind of a pistol formation here.
Cradleball is going to hand off to number 31. That's the
Lynch
smaller
is in
Lynch.
motion.
And Lynch will have about a gain of 7 on that first play from scrimmage.
I like how you said that. The sophomore Lynch, Lucas Lynch, Jared Lynch's.
Little Lynch. We'll call him Little Lynch.
Yeah, I don't know what their relation is. I'm not aware, but.
All right, 2nd and 4. Gain of 6 for Lynch. And Shuey's going to get the handoff, and Shuey will have no, that's the bigger Lynch. Lynch has a first down run across midfield, stays in bounds, and deep into Oakwood territory. and you can hear the Valley View side erupt.
And Jarrett Lynch got chugging on a savage run going towards the right, and he was very involved in the latter part of that first half and picking it up here in the second half.
I mean, those aren't missed tackles. He's just running right through them.
And I think they should do just that, balance the carries in between Max Shuey and that young man right there, the senior Lynch, as Cradle Ball will take this one after a first down.
And he's going to hand off to Lynch again. Lynch erupts through, and he's upended by number 70 of the Lumberjacks.
Actually, that was number 32.
I said Lynch. He was upended by Carter Winch.
Oh, no. I was talking about number 32 on defense.
Oh, that looked like 70.
Probably took the bottom or something. So 2nd and 5. Been an ideal start to the drive, and he has Lynch beside him again. Lynch in motion.
Lynch is held down there as number 70, Winch, with the hold of the jersey. So it'll be 3rd and 5. And with how your offense has come out this second half, I think this could be 4-down territory. I would risk the gamble if you don't pick it up here.
Definitely come out in an aggressive mind state.
And Jarrett Lynch is going to check off the field, and I think they brought in Shuey.
And sometimes when you're down only 1 score, Jared, you just got to get pumped up. You have to take the reins of this game.
Cradle Ball going to line up in normal formation. Cradle Ball back to pass, looking to the far sideline, and it is hauled in for a first down by number 18, Coulter.
And Coulter's first catch of the second half, getting the sideline erupted.
What a catch and come down with Coulter right there, double coverage.
And so far on this first drive, haven't seen a lot of Liam Musgrove,
I don't even see him on the field.
the flex back they used in the first half.
Cradle Ball hands off to number 11. That is
Dylan Branham,
his first carry of the night. And
not a
Valley
back
View,
we've seen there before.
Valley View firing on all cylinders to start this second half. Second and 8 from the 20. They're in the red zone. They're within striking distance.
For the first time in this game, Jared, really. I mean, they got close with being at the 40, but
Cradle Ball back to pass. Cradle Ball looking to the far sideline, and it is hauled in by number 18,
That is
Coulter again,
Coulter
and a flag comes in
again.
late. I believe that'll be a 15-yard for face mask.
it looked like number 59 on the tackle for Oakwood.
Let's check the end here. Let's see what the penalty could be. Oh, right there, helmet-to-helmet hit. See what the ref calls. Personal foul, helmet hit against Oakwood. It'll be half the distance to the goal.
And I think that is a great call there.
Yes,
Number
All
32,
about-
Mauricio Herringer.
all about keeping the kids safe.
Yeah, that's exactly the play you want to take out of football, Jared.
So now the ball will be down to about the 8. Or down to about the 6, actually.
And renewal of downs will be huge here going into scoring distance.
Goal-to-go situation here for the Spartans.
An extra lineman, 51 out there on the set.
Cradle Ball is going to hand off to the younger Lynch. Lynch going to scamper in, and he will be close to a touchdown. Let's see what the refs say. The refs say he'll be down at the 1.
And such a close play for Lucas Lynch. Sniffing that end zone.
Come on, let's bring that Shuey. I want to see the big man rumble in.
You'll see on the City Barbecue replay, Lynch brought in motion at the last second and cuts in the inside, leaving a defender on his knees, but can't quite cross the goal line.
And
It'll be an
I
early
think-
timeout.
oh.
No, that's an injury timeout, actually.
injury timeout. That looks like number maybe 36.
35, Jaden Spear.
Spar or Spear.
Spar, yeah. But do not quote me yet. I've not seen the full number.
Maybe we can see replay towards the end and see where he got hurt. He's grabbing that arm.
And one thing for Valley View here, despite this young man's injury, which might end up being very bad for Oakwood, is they cannot lose their concentration while overall on the sideline. And
No.
sometimes these injury timeouts last up to even 5 minutes. And so I think a really important key that Coach is preaching in there is keep your eyes on the prize. I know this young man is aching right now, but they were just in the middle of a
Yeah, a stellar drive to start
rambunctious
this.
offensive drive.
Yeah. He's up on his feet. That is, you were right, it is spar.
And we'll get a good round of
Round of
applause here.
applause on both sides. I mean, yes, you want your team to win, but you got to show sportsmanship before.
Yeah, Jared, you got to keep in mind there's not a kid out there over 19 years old right now. Possibly.
Yeah.
Hey, don't quote me.
Maybe
I've
a
not
senior
seen
too.
the birth certificate. Anyways, Valley View, 2nd and goal.
From the 2. Looks like they're not going to do what I wanted to do. I wanted to bring in Shuey. They're going to keep in with Brandom in the back. And
And
Valley
they
View
got him.
just false started.
It was almost offsides, drawing him, the middle linebacker, psyching him out. Well, it looked like number 6 for Oakwood football, Mason Talarzik.
And that looked like the left guard or the right guard at the end of the line for the Spartans.
It's a tragic mistake here for Valley View in the red zone.
2nd and 7.
And you got to wonder, with the way the game's been going so far, Jared, if they'll get another opportunity like this for the entire night.
I don't think they would get an opportunity this close in a goal to go
Looks like
situation.
it's going to be a running formation again, as they got 2 tight ends out there.
Cradle ball going to hand off to Brahma, and Brahma will be down to about the original line of scrimmage. Well, no, down to about the 5 maybe.
And don't quote me on this, but I believe it's pronounced Branham.
I don't know. I don't have a pronunciation sheet.
Wouldn't that be convenient?
It would be.
So 3rd and goal here.
Some of the times we don't even get the right numbers for the kids on the roster that the school puts out.
Yeah,
So I think pronunciation sheet's a little bit too much to ask for.
I'll take what I can get.
Third and 5. Cradle ball is going to scramble. Cradle ball will be down close to the goal line.
And he'll try to get in. Great determination by the kid, but it looks like it's going to be down at the 1, actually.
4th and 1, and if I'm Coach Skidmore, I would go for it.
Yeah, I would go for it too.
Pin
Looked
them
like
back deep.
looked like a broken play there that just Cradle Ball tried to make the best of, but couldn't do much there. And looks like they're going to just kick the field goal lay down here.
Number 49, Christian Myers, on to kick the field goal. Well, look who the holder is for Valley View. It is Cradle Ball.
Interesting.
Maybe see a broken play. Cradle Ball snap, hold up, kick is good. And it's trailing towards the sideline, and it is good. Or
Nice field
towards
goal
the
there.
upright. And that one got as close as it could, and there is an injured lumberjack on the field. Well, no, 32 is slow to get up.
And Mauricio Herringer will head back to the line. To the
7-3, Valley View takes almost 6 minutes to score to cut the lead to 4.
so good drive, taking a good chunk of the clock, and it scored, but not exactly what you want.
No, you wanted to end that in a touchdown.
Yeah, 4th and 2, definitely. I thought they were going to go for it there, but they're going to be conservative and take what they can get here. And that'll give the ball back to number 14, Tommy Lunne, who has been really solid tonight so far, controlling this game and managing. He's had that one play, but other than that, being very conservative and pretty efficient.
Now you got Myers on to kick off here, his second kickoff of the game. Kickoff is trailing towards the sideline. And it will not go out of bounds.
Sargent will pick this one up.
And
Cut
Sargent's dancing around in the backfield.
Has nowhere to go as number 23 for the Valley View Spartans, senior Steven Gantert, to make the tackle. And so here comes Amanjero, Sargent, and Tommy Lunne. Fatal trio for Oakwood.
If that's not a law office, I don't know what, no, a law office name, I don't know what is. But it'll be, I don't know what that was. It will be interesting to see, shut up, Jeff. It'll be interesting to see how Oakwood responds after they've been off, their offense has been off the field for nearly an hour. And the refs still have not, I don't know what they're doing. Ball's at the 15.
To let Oakwood get a good pep talk in, I guess. Lunne looks like he was reaching to the line, but he'll take the snap from under center. And
Lunne's going to run right up the middle again. He did that in the late in the second quarter, too, on their last drive. I don't like it.
To drive off with a very conservative QB sneak.
The only way I could think is they're just trying to wind the clock.
I'm not.
I mean, if you're trying to get time of possession in your favor halfway through the third, that is not what you want to do.
We'll see if Valley View can take advantage of a hampering line.
Gain of 3 on the play by the Lunne rush right up the middle. Lunne back to pass, rolling to the left, and it's complete to number 11 on the outside. That is, no, number 15, Sargent.
So that'll move the change for Oakwood. Another first down for the Lumberjacks. And moving the ball is something
Oakwood has not really done
Yeah.
well. The one busted play, and that's it. Lunne back to pass, and he is held. Oh, no, there was a pitch out, I guess.
Wow, I didn't know they were counting that as a fumble. As number 2 for Oakwood, Jack Armstrong, just kind of stood there as he thought the play was dead and got tackled anyways.
I didn't even see the play. We were in the replay, and I wasn't paying attention. So that'll back him up considerably. It'll be first and about, or second down and about 15, 16. Now the defense has a chance to come with some added pressure. Lunne back to pass. Lunne targets middle of the field, and it is incomplete.
My goodness, straight through
Intended
his
to
hands.
number 6. That is
Mason
Tarlazik. Third and 15 from the 22. If I'm Oakwood, I would send everything in the kitchen sink at this play.
Straight through the kid's hands. A good throw by Lunne, picking apart the defense. Straight over that zone, but brings us to 3rd and 15. Gonna have to be a big stop for Valley View here.
Lunne, it's tipped, and
Oh
it's
my
intercepted.
goodness.
Number 2, Logan Tays with the interception for Valley View, and they will have the ball in the red zone to go.
And I think that was off the Oakwood offensive line's helmet
It was definitely tipped.
at the line of scrimmage. And maybe a quick strike wasn't the best way to go on 3rd
there
and
you
15,
see
and
Logan
Valley View
Tays
takes over.
Getting the congratulations coming towards the sideline, and he gives the offense firing on all cylinders, the ball back with a short field to work with. Lunne just matched his touchdown total and interception total on that pass.
As he's back at 7-7.
And now Cradle Ball with all momentum on Valley View's side.
And this is the time to get a touchdown, would change the entire pendulum of the game. Looking directly left, and oh my
That's a
goodness.
live ball. Oh no, the ref comes in and says incomplete.
And they have to hold on to these balls if they want to get anywhere this game, Jared.
That one was intended to number 17, Ben Owens. That was inches away from being a behind or backwards pass.
Owens and Coulter being the leading options in this team have to consistently get their hands around that ball. It's one of the most basic fundamentals in the game of football.
Second and 10 from the 22.
They have a 3 wide receiver set.
Shuey lined up in the backfield, and a flag comes in. I think
Might have been
false
offsides.
start. No, I think false start. I think that left guard moved, as you saw. Armagero was running through the line. I think that's the left guard moved a half a second too soon.
And I think the offensive line is starting to get startled at those blitzes.
I mean, Oakwood is sending the linebackers in very late.
Yeah, I know when you see a man coming at you, you want to stop him, but
I mean, watch.
gotta wait till you get that ball off.
Number 3, Armagero, is the one standing in the middle of the field. And watch him, he's come running up, and he backs up.
Gonna fake him out again.
Carried the ball going to the end zone. And
Oh
it
my
is hauled
God.
in for a touchdown.
Jarrett Lynch
And Valley View has their first lead of the game.
making the play of the game, and before that, he only had 1 reception for 14 yards and a touchdown. So that is his 2nd reception on the season and his 2nd touchdown as well. For
Watch it. Yep, going to the ground. It's a good catch.
the older Lynch, the senior, has been very effective in many ways for Valley View so far.
Myers on to attempt the point to put the Valley View up 3.
And that, like I said before, the drive, Jared, just completely changes the tone of the game from this point on.
Well, having only 20 yards to work with.
There's that Oregon stuff you were talking about last week.
Yeah. Look at the gap between. Well, they fixed it. And the kick is up and good. And Valley View now has a 3-point lead, 10-7, thanks to a 27-yard touchdown pass from Caleb Cradleball to Jarrett Lynch.
You cannot forget the catalyst of the entire drive, number 2, Logan Tays, making the game-changing interception.
You see Cradleball out here now pumping up his defense.
Yeah, and now Tommy Lunne has the ball in his court, in his home field against the biggest rival in their school's history. See how he reacts tonight, as this will be the senior's last game against Valley View in his entire career.
And his only start.
His only start.
It's definitely interesting to see. I mean, we've been used to Brian Irby as quarterback for Oakwood and Genslinger and Wood as the 2-headed rushing monster from Valley View. They've kind of went away from that this year and developed more of a running game. Kind of surprising, but I mean, you got to adapt to your players that you have.
Yeah.
And in some cases, in other schools around the area, the players adapt to the coaching. Myers' kick doesn't really have a running kick at it, but it drills it down
solid.
to about the 5, and they're going to hand it off. No, they faked the handoff, and it didn't really
No
work.
success at all.
Nope. And a late flag comes in from the far sideline.
Valley View sniffs it out and pretty well at that.
It'll be interesting to see what the flag is. It looks like it's against Oakwood because the ref is walking towards the Valley View sideline. Personal foul against Oakwood, it looks like. Looked like it was offsetting penalties, actually. So Valley View's defense comes back out. There he is, the man that got the pick the last time out. Oakwood was on the field. Logan Tays. It'll be, oh, I guess it was just against Oakwood. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 6. if I'm Valley View's defensive coordinator, I'm ramping up the pressure here, bringing everything that I have, all the stunt blitzes at this.
Easily, especially at the high school level where you're so easily exposed to pressure. It runs way more rampant at this level.
And maybe you can force another turnover.
Yeah, definitely. If I'm the Spartans, I'm thinking 2 here, no doubt.
Looks like Lunne's going to line up under center. And I wonder if he's going to do one of those. No, they're not.
Nope. 4 men coming and still goes nowhere.
It'll be interesting to see where they mark it. Did he gain a yard or lose anything?
Good clog there by number 51 for Valley View, Noah Harrison.
No gain on the play, second and 10.
Looks like there is another Lumberjack down on the field for the 3rd time this game. And looks like just a cramp as his teammates are already helping him.
Thank you very much.
See here in the replay if we can see who maybe got hurt. You can't really tell. Nobody's really down.
Yeah, just a big cluster.
But, I mean, this is another thing. I mean, Oakwood now they've seen 3 straight series, 2 on offense, 1 on defense, where they've had a player go out with an injury. You've got to think in some sort of that is some sort of mental factor on them.
Yeah. You just have to have the discipline to not make it a deficit. Because if you think the game is going against you, it will. And number 3, Amanjero, who has been a huge piece of everything they do so far tonight, he limps off, and Lumberjacks are hoping and praying they can get him back out there as he is a starting middle linebacker and starting running back. Really one of the hearts of their team limping off, and great sportsmanship being shown right now by both sides. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for Oakwood now. So they got Amanjero off the field. And wonder how they're going to fill that void, Jared.
And it's what high school is the next man up. And right now, I did not see who came in to replace him, but it'll be interesting. And that's a pitch out to number 8.
It's number 6. Mason Talarczyk. I believe that is going to be Amanjero's replacement.
And he was hit hard at the end, and he stayed in bounds, I believe. So another penalty will move them half the distance back. So it'll be 2nd and 14 from the 3.
And everything so far working in the favor of the Spartans in the second half. 10-7, and total yardage in the second half is totally uneven, and not even much of a play played there, but someone is down on the field.
That's number 23 for the Spartans. That is Stefan Gantert.
He was one of their captains, and he gets up fine, and it didn't look like much was wrong with him. So we'll follow that throughout the game.
So now it'll be 2nd and 13 from the 3. Oakwood is moving backwards on this drive, and you really can't afford to go backwards.
No room for error. Lunne will be back in the gun in his own end zone. 2nd and 13 here. Looking left, and the curl route works.
Broken coverage, and will it be enough for a first down?
Jack Armstrong there with the catch. As you see on the City Barbecue replay, that was Jackson Lang on the coverage. Got turned around with the curl though. Got beaten man on man with a wide receiver, but he does play outside linebacker. Tommy Lunne lines up in the I formation and he'll play action it.
Rolling to the far sideline, has Sargent wide open, and Sargent
Oh
does
my
not come up with
goodness.
it.
Bounces off of Sargent's hands. And how about the coverage from number 30 for Valley View, Johnny Jones?
That is the third drop ball that the Lumberjacks have had that would have picked up a first down.
And a huge play that no one is going to talk about is Max Smith, linebacker for Valley View, coming off the edge right here, hits Lunne as he is throwing.
I mean, Sargent should have had that one. That's
Yes, he
hit him
should
right
have.
in the hands, right at the numbers.
Johnny Jones seen an opportunity to make him lose it, and he took it.
Now Oakwood has to punt and give the ball back to Valley View, and Valley View with a potential third score this third quarter. There is an injured Spartan on the field.
And looks like some more cramps.
I mean,
And
what
I think that might be Max Smith.
it looks like it.
The outside linebacker has been a huge part of the Valley View pass rush.
If you're Oakwood, I mean, you started this third quarter with all the momentum on your side.
Yeah.
And now it's slowly fizzled away. I mean, now you have to even you got to try and get a stop.
Well, so far this second half has been manhandled by Valley View.
I don't know. It'll be interesting. I mean, we've still got a whole quarter of football to play.
Still working on Smith out there. The end zone.
So Smith is up.
And there's definitely a little limp. See if he goes back to the huddle or.
Well, he has to come out for one play. He hurt
Yeah.
him. He's an injured player. So now it's time for an Oakwood punt from their end zone. Well, they'll be standing at about the 4. And if you're Valley View, I'd say get back and form a return, because either way is a first down for them. Oakwood
And
gets
a
it
solid
away,
punt.
fielded at midfield by,
Branham.
and Branham is down to about the 31. So excellent starting field position for the Spartans once again.
Dylan Branham, the junior receiver, getting a pretty solid return around the edge right there. Starting the Spartans on the 31. So third really good opportunity for Valley View to score in a row here. And we'll see if they can make this a 10-point deficit.
Owens goes in motion from top to bottom of your screen. Play clock's down to 5. Cradle line back up into shotgun. Hikes it at 1. Back to pass to the far sideline. And just out of the outstretched hands of Lynch.
Little Lynch, Lucas Lynch. Lucas Lynch and Jared Lynch are actually cousins. Lucas being the sophomore, Jared being the senior. Both been pretty effective parts of the game for Valley View on both sides of the ball.
Especially that first drive out of the halftime. So 2nd and 10 from the 31. Play clock is down to 10.
One in the backfield, 2 bunched up on the
And they're going
right
to throw
side.
aside, and that is intended to Musgrove. And incomplete.
And that's the first look the freshman has gotten this half, and
that could be the last.
yeah,
I mean, you don't drop that. I mean, you're out there for that reason.
yeah, definitely. He's definitely out there to make plays on the outside and
It was a perfect throw.
cannot allow balls to bounce off the hands like that, especially in open field.
So Cradle 3rd and 10 from the 31 in shotgun formation. Cradle ball back to pass. Airing it out to the sideline. That
That
is
is
hauled
Coulter.
in by Coulter, and he should have enough for a first down.
Great catch and pretty good defense on the outside by Oakwood. Really just behind him, let Coulter get position, and he's a lot bigger than he was.
Right, you put it to where your taller receiver can go up and get it, make the play. So 1st and 10 at the 20. They're in the red zone. And now with 1:43 left, Valley View looking to take control of this game. They're going to hand off. No, Cradle ball pulls it out to the last second.
Wow.
And that is a questionable
very
read on
close
that.
read option, man. He made up his mind at the last second. Literally, he had to maneuver the ball over the running back.
I don't think coach is going to want him to do that again. Gain of 1 on the play.
Not a good split-second decision, but at least you're already here.
Under a minute left in the 3rd quarter. Cradle ball back to pass. Cradle ball rolling. No flag thrown.
Good footwork by Cradle Ball, still fighting.
And Cradle ball is going to be brought down at about the 25.
Wow, he is a big boy.
Actually, they're going to call him down at the 22, so only a loss of 2 on the play.
He fought for that one.
It's about 20 rushing yards for a loss of 2. 3rd and 11, so this will probably be the last play of this 3rd quarter. Cradle ball back to pass. Cradle ball airing it out. Has Coulter. And Coulter will high step into the end zone.
And Valley View makes the game theirs in this 3rd quarter.
A 21-yard touchdown pass to Coulter. And watch him at the end of this. I thought he was going to be pushed out of bounds. High steps his way out of the tackle and runs in for another easy score for the Spartans, putting them up 16-7 with the extra point coming.
And with that catch, Troy Coulter is well over 200 yards and 2nd touchdown of the year. So far, their leading receiver when it comes to yardage.
Kick is up and kick is good.
They probably put our mics back to them. So they can kill our mics, but they still hear us.
So 7.8 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, and Oakwood finds themselves down 10, 17-7 after much of the first half, or much of the first 3 quarters. They led 7-0.
Well, yeah, Valley View just came out here, completely changed everything. And I think since the 2nd half has started, Oakwood can't have over 30 yards of total offense.
If that. And they had 2 penalties that were 15 yards and half the distance to the goal.
So here we go for the 3rd time this half. It'll be a Valley View kickoff. Christian Myers gets it up.
And he gets it right down to about the 5 again. They're going to fake the handoff. No, they actually handed it off. And that one turns out to be about the same as if he would have just ran out to the 20.
Yeah.
And that's how the 3rd quarter ends, 17-7. Valley View leads after scoring 17 unanswered points.
Well, what changed in that quarter was as simple as energy. Energy and field position, man. Once they came out, got that awesome initial starting position, they got this field goal under their belt, came out, picked it off, and from there, all adrenaline, Jared, as they scored 2 straight touchdowns and are still looking like they're going to be very nightmarish on the defensive end. start of this fourth quarter bring a lot of mystery. You see the defensive coordinator for Oakwood. So they'll switch sides up the field here. We'll see if that has anything to do with it at all. Here we go, 17-7. Oakwood facing a 10-point deficit as Lunne will kick off the fourth quarter. The ball in his hands. To get around number 51 for Valley View. He does, and gets the throw. Is it complete? And I don't think it is. You see Harrison rushing him around the edge, Lunne throwing on the run, and they are not going to count it as he did not get his feet down. 2nd and 10 here for Oakwood. Lunne just had to extend that play for a little too long. Good to see Amanjero back out there.
Yeah, it's good to see him coming back after that injury towards the end of the third quarter. Really a Swiss Army knife for this Oakwood Lumberjacks team, and he needs to, as he's been all over the field on all aspects of the ball. And now the refs are picking up the ball. There's some sort of penalty against the Spartans. So it'll be 2nd and 10. I am confused on what happened.
Yeah, me too.
So 2nd and 10 from the 19.
Improved field position.
Lunne throws a ball to the outside to number 2, and he's hit hard immediately and drugged down.
And Armstrong is trying to find somewhere to go, but ends up diminishing his forward progress after the hit by Max Smith. Proves detrimental for the offense here.
And you see number 6 there for the Lumberjacks, Tarlsnick, comes up
And
limping.
Another injury.
And he wasn't even on that side of the field. That's just bad blocking right there by Armstrong, or Sargent. He did not.
6 of his opponents right there in front of him. And there will be another injury timeout. And you hate to
Tarlsnick
see
just
a
fell
lot
down
of
on the
these.
ground.
And that definitely looks ankle related.
Yeah, that's not a cramp. So with 11:21 left in the fourth quarter, Valley View down to 3rd and 16 and down a pivotal player more on the defensive side of the ball than offensively tonight.
And Tarlozek is going to get up. He will be limping, but it's better than getting carted off the field.
Right.
So it's nice to see all these young men walk off the field tonight. Unfortunate for the Lumberjacks to have so many players get hurt, even if they do come back in the game. Still, just losing them for a couple plays can prove game-changing in ways that we don't even notice.
3rd and 13 now. And you would have to think this is do or die time for the Lumberjacks. Lunne back to pass. Bullet thrown wide across the middle of the field. Incomplete, intended to number 15, Armstrong.
And that was an overwhelming overthrow that time.
And
from
4th
Tommy
and
Lunne.
13, and you have to punt here with 11 minutes left. You have got to see if your defense can mount some sort of drive and hold this Spartans offense.
And Jared, you wonder when the Oakwood offense is going to get Tommy Lunne out of game manager mode, as he has been, other than that broken play earlier for the big touchdown, hasn't been making a lot of progress. They've been playing very conservative and safe, as you guys cannot do that anymore.
No, line up Sargent in the backfield of Lunne. At least they'll throw him and put 2 people in there. And kick is a high, booming kick.
Sargent with a good punt. And Branham will bring it up.
Branham
We'll
with a
see
good
a seam.
return. Branham with 1 person to beat. And he will be pushed out at the 10-yard line. Branham with about a 45-yard return and puts the Spartans in scoring position
And
with
wow,
that punt return.
that is the second time this half he has come up big with those returns.
Oakwood is not going to have that many more chances to learn to not to punt to that kid. First and goal, he tackled him at the 9, so goal-to-goal situation after the 46-yard punt return.
And they have had good field position every single time they've received the ball this half, Jared.
Cradle ball lines up, hands off to Lynch. Lynch cuts it back out, and he maybe gets down to the 5.
Good job by the Oakwood linebacker, Mauricio Herringer. Oakwood safety, my bad. Excuse me. 2nd and 7 for cradle ball in this Valley View Spartans offense.
If you're Oakwood, you have got to hold them to a field goal. It's a 2-possession game now, and it can remain a 2-possession if you hold them. But a touchdown could prove to be detrimental.
Lynch in motion.
Cradle ball's going to flip it to the bigger Lynch. He's going to cut back across the field, and he
After
stays on his
changing
feet. And
positions
it's going to
of
be a
field.
touchdown.
And that'll be at the 1.
No, they're going to call him down at about the
Just
half-yard line.
at the 1. As you saw there on the camera, tried to stretch his arms out, but just got to the 1.
Watch it. He just reverses
Beautiful
field.
cutback, spins off Carter Winch and keeps on going. Didn't quite get
That's
there.
a heads-up play right there by number 62 to get the tackle to stop the touchdown run. And I'm assuming Cradle Ball is going to run this right up the middle.
Here.
And Cradle Ball will sneak it in from a yard out. Cradle Ball with a 1-yard touchdown run.
And within 20 minutes, the complete script of the game changes. Pending this extra point, 24 second-half points scored by Valley View.
24 unanswered points scored by Valley View.
And who knows if it would have happened if it weren't from excellent field position.
Myers on to add the 24th point of the game, and it is up, and it is good.
So Spartans doing a lot of what they didn't do in the first half, and that is taking advantage of opportunities given to them. And they fulfilled every single one here in the 3rd quarter, Jared. Well, 4th quarter now. And wow, that young man has put in some work today. A tough, durable starter, Cade Cradle Ball. The versatile junior has gotten it done. And Oakwood will have to show some explosiveness here.
Oakwood has got to abandon this running game, and they're going to have to try and
Something
launch it down
downfield.
the field. But right now, they don't have an answer for this Valley View defense. Myers on to kick off again. And with 9.5 minutes left, I don't know how many more chances Oakwood's going to have if they don't score.
Yeah, they have to have a score now mentality every single time they touch the ball.
Myers on to kick it off. Myers kick trailing towards the sideline, fielded at about the 10. And they're going to do the handoff once again. And Sargent is going to be tackled at about the 16-yard line. The Lumberjacks would have better outcome of that if they fake the handoff.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And tackled there by number 24, Jackson Lang. As you see on the City Barbecue replay. They keep on doing that pitch, and Valley View is not fooled one bit.
9:26 left. Valley View has the ball down 24-7. They have to score on this drive, and you would think they would have to score with some sort of energy. Sargent across the middle of the field, almost intercepted.
And that would have been Taze's second pick of the day. But instead is a second down and 10.
Second and 10 now. That only took 2 seconds off the clock. Lunne back in shotgun formation.
Lunne looking right. He'll scramble a little bit and goes absolutely nowhere. And he is brought down there by Gansert.
And Lunne looks like he's slow to get up.
Harrison in the middle.
In 3rd and 12, and the clock's ticking. This is, I mean, Oakwood is not moving the ball well like they need to be.
In 3rd and 12. Very pivotal play for Lunne and the Lumberjacks.
Lunne scrambling, rolling to the right, has Sargent on the sideline. Let's see if they call it complete. They did not. 4th and 12, and Oakwood has to punt.
Fourth and 12, and Oakwood punts it, knowing very well they might not get too many more opportunities to score.
End over end kick going towards the sideline. Takes
Pretty
the
solid
Oakwood
punt.
bounce, and it will go out at about the 39.
So not bad starting position for Valley View, just nothing like they've been placed with the last 3 drives.
So Oakwood has got to come out, and they have to, you would assume they're going to have to bring the blitzes. And if you're Valley View, do you keep doing the passing, or do you try and run and just hold on to the ball for the rest of the game?
Oh yeah, if I'm Valley View, I'm definitely going to try to milk that clock. And they have some power backs.
Gain of 1 on the play. Oakwood does not take a timeout.
Let's see if they utilize Max Shuey here.
This is what I think
Senior
his
fullback.
game time situation would be for.
Yeah. They'll bring the extra lineman here, defensive end Noah Harrison, who has been their kind of tight end and running situations.
Look at Armstrong run through, and they're going to fake it to the other side to Musgrove. And Musgrove gets twisted up like a pretzel at the end. But it'll be 3rd down and about 6. 3rd and 5. And if Valley View, or if Oakwood can get a stop, and I would assume a timeout would be taken.
Yeah, this is the last time Oakwood's gonna have hopes of getting a stop with still hopes of winning the game.
Cradle ball, though, lined up in shotgun. Cradle ball back to pass. Cradle ball airing it
Going
out.
deep.
Comes up incomplete.
Oh.
So Oakwood forces the 3 and out, and they save the timeout.
Great coverage there, one-on-one downfield by Oakwood's Rodney Jones. He has come in key for this defense tonight, but hasn't meant much as Valley View has owned this game in the second half.
Valley View on to punt.
Yeah, that stops the clock at 7 minutes. Still a minimal amount of time for Oakwood left, but not much at all, as they're going to have to do at least 3 scores.
kick is a low kick heading towards the sideline, and that could help out Oakwood too. See where they marked it out at about the 35.
And Oakwood is at the point where
And it only
they
took
have-
5 seconds off the clock.
yeah, they have no choice but to go for it here.
Yeah, you have to air it out.
There's no more punts left in this game for yellow.
I mean, that game we did here 2 years ago.
Yeah,
when
and as this game
it was
is
about
proven,
this score.
as this game is proven time after time, it is never over until
About-
that whistle blows.
About this time was left in that game too.
Yeah. We'll see if Oakwood can turn it around.
Lunne with a pitch and minimal gain, maybe a gain of 2 on the play at
And that was
most.
Sargent going to the outside, being tackled by Max Smith.
But these are the plays Oakwood cannot afford to run, and they're taking way too much time off the clock. Gain of 1, and you've wasted 30 seconds already. A quick pass across the middle of the field will be close to a first down. If it's a first down, it stops the clock momentarily.
Definitely caught the exterior defense off guard as Max Smith went in for the blitz.
You have to run into the no-huddle offense here if you're Lunne. Play is stiked. You've got to have your game or your plays called on the sideline. Lunne under center, back to pass. Lunne airing it across the middle of the field,
And-
tipped, and it's intercepted.
Oh my goodness.
And he's still on his feet. That was intercepted by, is that Taze again? No, that is
that's-
Lynch.
That's Lynch.
Jarrett Lynch with the interception.
How about one of the game-changing plays? Jackson Lang, number 24, in front of that one. He actually got the tip underneath playing the coverage. As you see on the City Barbecue replay, number 24 tipped it up in the air. And how about a night for the sophomore? Been a very efficient part of this this defense.
And right now, Oakwood Valley View can just sit on the ball.
And Cradle Ball was coming onto the field, but we'll go back and take some more direction. I actually think he forgot his mouthpiece, but they're going to have to end up calling a timeout on this one. Some miscommunication there.
I hope they're not sharing mouthpieces.
Yeah, that's what that looks like, Jay.
Oh.
But not my business.
No, I guess you do what you do in
Yeah.
Germantown. I'd be on the phone with whoever the uniform provider is. Hey, we need more mouthpieces.
Yeah, if I'm Valley View, it's all runs down from here. As that play by Lynch and Lang might have just changed this entire game. And
No, I mean, Oakwood was in desperation mode anyway, and now Oakwood.
Well, it changes it in the sense is they're on zero when it comes to opportunities.
Oh. But I mean, right now,
Down by 17, 6 minutes left.
what an answer this is for Valley View, coming off 2 straight losses after beginning this season with a win over Wilmington.
2 straight losses and a lot of close calls in the first half, Jared. Up in the red zone, close to the 40. Just couldn't get anything going, and that has to be very, very demeaning as you go into the half. And I wonder what was said to them. But whatever it was, it worked. And Cradle Ball will roll out to the right, looking downfield.
Throws a lob pass to Owens and almost completed. If Garnett could have got there too.
That would have been a one-hand catch by Troy Coulter, but instead it proves to be 2nd and 10. Kind of confused here, not running the clock down like I thought they'd be. As you see on the City Barbecue replay, had to go back across his body, and Coulter didn't appropriately haul that one in either.
Ref picked up his flag on the field. I did not see what happened, but that's
a penalty,
a
though.
15-yard penalty against the Lumberjacks.
Wow, you think it was
It would have to.
unnecessary roughness?
It would have to be either that or after the play was dead. I did not see. I mean, I didn't see where it could have been. I never even saw the flag come out until I saw the ref pick it up. Now Cradle Ball back under center. You would assume this is running now all the way. And Garnett gets it carry. Garnett spins off of one of the tacklers.
I believe it's pronounced Gantert.
Pronounced what?
Gantert.
Sure, we'll go with that.
2nd and 6.
I mean, watch him just spin off of number 62 right there for the Lumberjacks.
It hasn't gotten very many carries in this game, but is there now and looking pretty good after that 4-yard chunk.
Quick pass out to Musgrove.
Musgrove around the edge. He gets the edge.
And he's tackled down inbounds. And that should be enough for a first down, yes.
And with that, Jared, I think this game is just about over. As this clock's going to run for another 3 downs, barring some timeouts. And onto the field now comes number 32.
Lynch.
Jarrett Lynch, who has had a heck of a day.
1st and 10 from the 12. Cradle ball, fakes the handoff, hands off to Musgrove up the middle. Musgrove will have himself a touchdown. Yes, he does.
And great effort from the little freshman, Liam Musgrove.
Freshman with a 12-yard touchdown run.
And that is the 2nd touchdown of the season and the 2nd one of his young career. As the freshman has looked pretty impressive, very tough. Coming in the inside, a lot of speed, but not a lot of body. 5'6", 130, but rips off chunks at times. The little freshman showing a lot of intensity tonight, and that runs the score up to 31-7 and just about ends this one. As Oakwood will try
Flag on the play.
to get their first score of the 2nd half after this one, but
I think Oakwood or Valley View had too many people on the field.
yeah, I think the Spartans are counting, and they're wrong. So there was 12 men on the field.
Well, if you put number 8 out there, it's only 11 and a half. But I mean, you've seen Skidmore's been here for 28 years with the team. But I mean, being an assistant head coach and being the head coach is 2 different tasks on the field. And for him to take over a team that was perennial playoff team, making deep runs in the playoffs, in his first 2 years, he goes 19-1 in the regular season. He's went 2-2 last year, and last year they had an early exit in the playoffs to, I think, Wyoming. But they were an odds-on favorite to go, I think, to match their state championship run back in the 90s. But, I mean, if they can play like this the rest of the year, through the rest of the season,
Yeah,
I mean, you look at the rest of their schedule. They are home for Monroe next week, Bellbrook the week after that, then they're at Franklin, then they're home for Milton Union, home for Eaton, and at Brookville. So they only have 2 home games the rest of the year.
Yeah,
So
not
talk
looking at
about
an
an
extremely
advantage.
tough schedule. See if Valley View can finish this one out, as they've looked excellent in the 2nd half
Well,
on
last week,
tonight.
I read on Twitter last week, they played Middletown Madison. Middletown Madison hadn't beat them since 1987. And Middletown beat them last week, 24-16.
Wow.
So a huge bounce-back performance by the Lumberjacks, falling to 2 losses in a row after a stellar win over, I think, Clinton Massey week 1.
And it
Wilmington.
makes it that much more of a big deal that both of these teams are 1-2 at the time. And
They're
they'll
gonna do the end
same
around.
exact thing.
And this one actually has some decent return out of it. But I think number 7 for the Lumberjacks, if I can find my roster,
And they'll be tackled on the
Reese
play.
Wilson, should have kept it.
Gantert ends up with the tackle. And Lunne will lead the Oakwood offense on for perhaps maybe the last time tonight. We'll see how this drive goes.
Lunne back to pass. Lunne airing it out across the middle of the field with a screen pass, and that'll be enough for a first down. I mean, I hate repeating myself, but I mean, you got to be on the ball. Lunne back. I mean, Oakwood is just taking way too much time. I know they're down more than 3 scores, but still.
Trips on the left side, and he'll look to the left side. And another tip pass.
I was about to say, it looked tipped at the line.
Good play there by number 56 for Valley View. Isaac Creek, senior linebacker.
Lunne back to pass, rolling to the right. Lunne's going to tuck it and run, and Lunne will be out of bounds close to midfield. It'll stop the clock.
And not a lot of hope. But 3rd and 4, the Oakwood Lumberjacks are still going. They have been completely stagnant in the second half. As soon as the Spartans started taking off, they just went down into the ground. Lunne looking right. He gets tipped again. And how about Max Shuey on the outside for the Spartans? Their defense, other than the one broken play, Jared, as we kept reiterating throughout the night, has been very stellar.
4th and 4. This is potentially the final offensive play for Oakwood of the game. Lunne back to pass. Lunne going way back to pass. Ball falls incomplete.
And that will be a turnover on downs, and will also be the nail in the coffin, I think, in my opinion.
It looks like Cradleball's night is done too. I did not see him run back out onto the field. Let's see if we can find the backup quarterback for Valley View. Number 3, JT Ferguson. Yep, I see him out on the field, and Cradleball's stellar performance tonight is done.
But how about the night for Cradleball, man?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and chalk it up, and let's give him the player of the game.
And a few touchdowns and a lot of yardage to add on to his top 5 totals in both categories.
Ferguson under center. There should just be handoffs and pitches. And that is number 21 with the carry.
Billy Caruth. That is sophomore wide receiver.
You might not want to get up and point a first down when you don't get the first
As you
down.
see on the City Barbecue replay, Caruth came in motion, got to the outside, cut in, and a little bit of shake and bake. Got about 5 yards there.
Yeah, but he got up and signaled the first down, so you might not want to do that if you don't pick it up. Look at where you're at on the field before you determine your celebration.
As it looks like all backup players in right now.
It does look like it, and they are just out there to hold on to the ball, run the play clock down to 1.
It's actually number 9 in at quarterback, Matthew Cotterman.
And number 38 with the double handoff, that is Jonathan Stiver for the Spartans.
Another sophomore in there at running back.
3rd and 2. 3 minutes left in our City Barbecue game of the week. For week number 4, they're going to let this play clock run all the way down to 1. It is 15. Hand off right up the middle, and it will be, well, he has enough for the first down.
Caruth can do it this time.
And I think that's going to be enough, and Valley View might not have to give the ball back. I mean, now we can preview our game of the week for next week. The Centerville Elks will be at the Springboro Panthers.
And usually that would be
That
an
would be a
excellent
good game, but
the Elks are looking very disappointing.
Centerville falls to 0-4 with their loss tonight. And
An
Springboro
overwhelming loss
lost
tonight.
And
at that.
Springboro lost tonight to Fairmont. So it's going to be a 1-4 team versus, or a 1-3 team versus a 0-4 team for next week's game.
And remember, Springboro's only win probably coming because of an injury.
And Lightning.
And Lightning.
But yeah, that
Definitely Lightning.
our
but
week 2 game that we did, Middletown versus Springboro, I mean,
Duron Thomas.
he done for the season.
And that kid was looking like he had a lot of talent in his first year, showing it off too. Very sad loss, but Springboro got their win out of it. Well, I'm expecting a lot of fight next week. Both teams are perennially expected to be at a high level.
Right. I mean, you can't tell me the last time Centerville went 0-4 to start a season.
Yeah, Centerville, I mean, granted, they lost a lot of seniors, but they still
Yeah,
have a lot of talent
graduated
on that
28.
team. They have a lot of talent on that team, no doubt.
And a flag on the far side. A false start against Valley View.
And as the clock goes down to 1 minute, fate is becoming clear in this annual rivalry. Valley View coming on top.
That's the way to try and get a tackle. Just grab a piece of that jersey and rip.
Hope for the best. Cotterman taking orders in this one, but not too much more game to be played.
A minute left with 10 seconds left on the play clock. Handoff will go to number 38 again, it looks like. And depending on how long it takes the rest to spot the ball, that could have been the last hike of the game. And what a way for Valley View to back up a 50-7 win last year to come into Oakwood to win 31-7 this year.
All points scored in the second half.
And with Valley View, they're going to wait. And Valley View will not have to hike the ball. And that is the final play of the game. Valley View with second half dominance over the Oakwood Lumberjacks will win 31-7.
And week 4 was competitive at first, but as soon as the third quarter began, Jared, this one was over.
Momentum shifted. And that is going to do it for week 4 of our City Barbecue Game of the Week. Valley View wins 31-7 in Oakwood. I'm signing off for the rest of the Miami Valley Communications crew. I'm Jared Bergstrom alongside Jeff Allen.
That's all, folks.